Hey everyone, welcome back to the European Challenger Series. It's time for the third and final game between H2K Gaming and Lublin Shore. Now the winner of this game is going to head to London to face Ninjas in Pajamas in the Series 1 finals next weekend. And we saw Lublin Shore pull up a really good game too.
Yeah, upsetting H2K in a game. A lot of people thought they were going to take it 2-0. And a lot of it was Kuban.
Yeah.
Going 7-1-4 on Jax and just having this composition that scales really well. And Kickass also turned it around in game 2, picking up the Jarvan that he saw trashy on, being an early game forcer. And I want to talk about both of them because what ended up happening in that middle part of the game was actually very early game. We'll talk about the early game. We'll start there.
Early game.
We'll walk you guys through this one. Early game. Lane swaps came out. No real action coming out in comparison to the first game where people were actually staying in the lanes. Said this time, because last time Kuban stayed top and he ended up getting tower dove. This time, rotates middle over and over again. That seemed to be the focus from H2K, was they were just going to keep going mid lane. Lublin Shore identified that, warded the sides, so they kept seeing AOD around that area. And then eventually, AOD just took one step too far forward. Kuban's there, jumps in, flash counterstrike, picks up first blood for his team.
Yeah.
Second time AOD overextends, it's Dragon. And they pick him up there, get themselves a Dragon off of it. And then it just keeps going back and forth for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then the Baron after the Dragon was huge. The Kickass steal there on the Baron was just ridiculous. Trashy smiting a little too early, a little too panicked. Which is actually a little uncharacteristic of him. Yeah. But it happens to everybody.
Yeah, there's one thing that happened there that I'm not sure if it did because I couldn't tell from the replay. So Libic had tossed the tidal wave into that fight. Now, I think it might have hit Trashy right as he was using Q2 on Lee Sin. The standard smite combo for Lee Sin is like, it's at about 1,000 Q, and then you Q smite, and you get this like 1,100 damage burst. You know, I mean, it's capped, but it's still like 400 damage from your Q2. If you're going for the Q2 and you get tidal waved, it breaks.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I smited, but now it's at 300 health. And then you Jarvan Q and you steal it. That might have been what happened. I know tidal wave hit him at about the right time. I think it broke his resonating strike.
That would be
absolutely
incredible. And then we'd have to give MVP over to Libic.
Yeah.
But we don't even get an MVP anyway.
The miracle tidal wave, though. I mean, hey, he played pretty awesome that game.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty incredible across the board there for Lublin Shore. Just playing it really well early, not falling into H2K's traps.
Yeah.
Recognizing the trap, saying, I'm not going to step into that, ward up the mid lane, because that was the focus. And then they just took it away from there.
Yeah, well, speaking of setting up traps for people, though, there's one thing I think, especially in a best of 3, you can start identifying trends in your opponents. And there's one that I thought was really obvious now for Lublin Shore. By 3.5 minutes, they are always leaving Mockler alone to freeze the bot lane by himself. And because we're seeing these teams roam around in these 4-man gank squads, support, top laner, jungler, and you can roam someone else if you want as well, because you've got these really mobile gank squads, you can set up trinket wards. Mockler is being left alone to farm under his turret as a level 3 Kog'Maw. If you're Lucian, maybe you can dodge a Lee Sin. If you're Kog'Maw, you are going to die. Like in a lane, normally you're relying on your support for wards, you're relying on him to help you escape or to CC and engage. But if you're 3v1ing a Kog'Maw under turret, that fool's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
And H2K can find that. And honestly, it's kind of the same for H2K as well. Both these guys are leaving their AD carries alone. And instead of roaming mid as a big group, they can roam to the AD carry lane as a big group, who also has no wards, who has multiple gank paths in and nowhere to go. And it's even harder to counter gank because your team's less likely to be around.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. They keep leaving him down there. Hey, it's like the all-tech of EU right now.
Yeah.
Just basically,
farming it up somewhere else.
Mockler is the best top laner in the AD carry position.
Yep.
By himself, just solo farming away up against another top laner.
Yeah. Meanwhile, their top laner is the carry. So, you know, they've got this nice role synergy going on between Kuban and Mockler here. Picks and bans coming through. Jax still banned away by Lublin Shore. They will not let Odwam the first pick. They have never allowed that champ to go to H2K. Jax, Cassid, and Yasuo the bans away. So you're seeing them still not being allowed two of those champions as well. But nothing else coming through. Nothing in Trashy's pool. That means the Kale still is available, and that is going to be first picked. Meanwhile, Braum, Irelia, Lulu, still the bans for H2K.
Yeah, H2K, they get Kale now because Jax was the substitute ban. So they first pick it for Odwamne. It was going to be Jax, it was going to be Kale. You spend 2 bans on that.
Yeah.
Can't do it. He's got to ban Cassid and Yasuo as well.
Yeah, but this does now give Thresh over to Libic for the first time in this match. And I think you've got to lock this in if you're Lublin Shore. I think the fact that it was prioritized so heavily as a ban, the fact that Libic is so good on that champion, I don't think you can give that away. I am ever so slightly surprised by the Lee Sin being grabbed early, just because we haven't seen Lee Sin work well yet this series, but it's a 2-game sample size. I understand going for it anyway.
Yeah, Kikis is getting his Lee Sin, baby, though. That's his most played. Trashy pretty much picked the Lee Sin just to take it away from Kikis last time, because that's not his most played.
No, it's not.
Not even close.
No, it's not.
He's more of a... He had like the Wukong, he had the Kazakhs and things like that. They got nerfed down. Loves J4, loves Vi, loves those types of champions. He has the Evelynn in his back pocket as well. But the Lee Sin is something that he doesn't seem as adept on. So I want to see what Kikis does with this. And Trashy's most likely going to be the Jarvan here for him again, because that worked wonderfully for him in the first game.
Eve is still open, though.
That is
Game
true.
1, Eve was stolen away from, but it's not even going to be that one either. It's going to be maybe the hover on Elise Twitch.
He hovered it last time, too. And I talked about his Elise. I'm like, I don't know him too much as an Elise player.
Yeah.
If they do pick Elise, it's most likely to combo with the Morgana.
She can't make early game moves.
Yeah, exactly. Which is H2K style. They really use that early game, and they're going to go for it. So they're going to go with a completely different style than we've seen from Trashy in the past. So he's going to go for more early game, try to get some objectives.
Yeah.
Not really kill people, roam around the map, a little bit of fighting power there. But against a Lee Sin, it's not in your favor as much. But I think what they're going to go with here is possibly a Morgana for AOD, is what I would assume. Does well against Thresh, pairs really well with the Elise.
Yes. And Intervention Black Shield is unbreakable.
Yeah.
You have a literally immune champion. You can't be touched by literally anything at all, aside from like the damage debuff of Exhaust. If you have Kale ulti plus all this fun stuff. We're going to see if they actually go for that one. Yep, there we go. This hover on Morgana the Sisters. I think it's a great combo. It's going to mean the H2K has plenty of damage output as well. Any reasonable AD carry plus a Kale is a lot. And
that's the strat.
All right. Yep. Disengage, poke heavy. H2K have a late game fallback pattern and a great way to push through a mid game lead.
So when I saw the Elise come out, I'm like, they have to pair it with a Morgana. There's no other reason to really pick that for Trashy, because that's not his style.
Yeah.
They're going with a different style. They're going to be like, all right, Fibevin, you're going to poke people down. We're going to have a consistent damage dealer, and then we're going to have disengage with some catch potential here. So basically, if you land a binding, guaranteed spear.
Yep.
You land a cocoon, it's a guaranteed spear. They're long enough CCs to keep people locked out so that you get max damage on that based on your positioning. Oh, Dwamne. Oh my lord, his Kale was so good previously. Just bring it out again. Now, Loveland Shore, their answer to this is we're going to have a Twitch, we're going to have a LeBlanc, we're going to have a lot of assassins here, a lot of quick-moving champions that can get in. And the problem here, though, is the hard engage.
Yeah, exactly.
The hard engage.
They don't have a good way in.
Next to you, but they don't have a good way in.
This is all right. I mean, this is going to be difficult, I think, for Loveland Shore. They've got to make the individual plays here. This is actually very reminiscent of the game that NIP lost to Gamers 2, actually.
Yeah.
They had a Jarvan in that game, to be fair, and it still wasn't enough, but it was like, yeah, we can all make individual plays. We have a Twitch, we have a LeBlanc. We can kind of do stuff. I think they might have even had they had Shyvana or Lulu there as well, like someone else who could like do a follow-up sort of mid-tier engage. And it's like, all right, how good are you at getting in on this? Because H2K has a lot of CC, they have a lot of fallback patterns, they have a lot of ways of getting you off them. Loveland Shore need individual playmaking from Take Fun and from Mockler to turn this game in.
Yeah, Take Fun, Mockler can kick us, get them ahead early. Because H2K, they basically sit back, group Odwamne. He will probably go with a split push and show up to the fights once people poke down enough. Basically, it's like 1-2 spears land. You guys siege the turret, and if they even look like they're going to contest it, I will TP in and basically tell them to back off.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be the attempt here. It's going to be a very difficult game. And it's interesting because this is the second time now I've seen H2K pick champions that they're not in their own top tier. So you talked about the fact that Trashy picked up Lee Sin when it wasn't really, one of his most played. Like, it was kind of a steal from Kikis to try to remove that away. And it's like, I understand that as a priority of removing your best champion. But again, now for the Nidalee in the mid lane, Fibivin, yes, he plays it some, but it's like his 8th most played, right? Like, it's in his pool with air quotes, but like, this is not like him getting Yasuo. It's not like him getting Cassidon. There's not going to be that same level of performance. I mean, unless he proves us wrong, right? But like, as far as cover pick goes, it's not the case. They're going for a strategy and hoping that it works.
Yeah, and of course, Nidalee just sets up the whole team composition around her. But also, when you pick a Nidalee, it dictates what your comp's going to do, but it dictates what the other comp has to do. They have to deal with the Nidalee. We saw it yesterday with Gamers 2 when Ocelot picked the Nidalee. It was like, wow, we showed up to Dragon, Baron at the right time, but Nidalee was there at the same time. poking us. We had to give up objectives to them. We had to back off and just stalled out the game. So now for Bevan, he's in a position to get his team going to allow them to poke off of objectives. It won't happen for a while, but it looks like we're going to have standard lanes here. Unless it's going to tip them off and say, nope, we don't want that.
Well, so far they're going to spot each other. Whatever. Trinkets can come down around this time. That's actually the right trinket timer because it'll watch late invades.
I'm actually a little surprised. If they do go for the standard lanes here, it's definitely in H2K's favor because Morgana does really well against Thresh. Kale does really well against Shyvana.
Look at that. Level Shore is actually recalling Mockler back to base. And now it's a question of where can Shyvana go? And look, yep, they're sending Mockler top lane.
Yeah, there was a scenario. I'm like, there's no reason for them to actually go with a straight up just 2-on-2, 1-on-1s unless they just put so much emphasis on the dragon.
Well, any invade, though, I want to actually pay attention to level 1 right now.
That's true.
Level Shore, they cannot invade this buff without getting spotted. And right now, if H2K are going for the greedy buff start, they're starting with only their top lane or their dual lane on the wrong side of the map, which means Level Shore needs to punish this or they get 3 buffed. They go 1 for 3 on buffs unless they invade. The invade will then get spotted.
Top laner's not even going to help with it.
Okay, wow. They can easily punish this.
Oh,
he has to leave right now.
They see it coming. Yeah, she has to book it.
Out he goes. So Loveland Shore's lanes are seen, and in fact it will allow H2K to swap their lanes back. You're seeing Morgana Lucian run across the map to start this one out. So look
they're
at
actually going to contest it.
Ooh, this is risky because they're outnumbered.
4 on 5.
O'Donnell's on the wrong side of the map. Q1 pushing them away. There's only vision now. That's going to be an easy smite. Well picked up. There we go. Not a chance for Trash the entire time. It will allow H2K to find the lanes they want, but they are behind in the jungle game.
Well, they go for the 2-on-2 in the top lane, though.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Odwamne, he's been shoving this bottom lane. He's going to force a TP out of
oh, look at this.
Uban.
This is
they're going to go get the blue.
I think that could it could work for H2K. They're going to try.
It could also backfire. It's very risky play.
No one's stopping them. They got it.
Yep. No contest here. It is going to delay Trashy's first gank, but at the same time, he's Elise right now. Up against a Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to get the first gank off pretty much no matter what.
So Kickus level 2, he can start on his own red buff. And actually, he looks for the blue buff now, and it's already gone. No one watched the invade right there. So despite the handicap at level 1, H2K find their way back in. Lebanon Shore say, oh man, they really just got that on us.
Yes, and that's actually going to put Trashy back on the same timer as Kickus. Because Kickus is going to do Wolves, then he's going to go do his red. Trashy's going to go do his red, then his Wraiths. And then he'll look for something.
Well, Livic, though, he's looking for the hook. He's going to land on an AOD. This is actually a very good start to the lane. Of course, they got level 2 first. They did get level 2 first. They were to the lane first, and they got the push going. So they've actually managed to do a very good thing in this lane where they're up in potions. And that, despite the initial matchup disadvantage, could work for Lebanon Shore's favor.
Yeah, now they have to CS underneath the turret. Oof. Missing a couple. 4 CS to 15. And the funny thing here, too, is that H2K, they wanted the 2-on-2. They 100% wanted this, and I don't blame them because of the matchups. But because of the experience differential, coming up very poorly so far.
Okay, well, Kickus is going to be the first to recall. He's going to pick up a longsword, a ward, and a potion, so he's going to be able to fight back against people, and his lanes, or his ganks are going to be a little bit stronger. So Kickus, see if he can make any plays there. But
ooh,
damage, wow, that hook lands. AOD just did not black shield. That's no reason to miss that one, but Lebanon Shore, this Livic Mockler lane we talked about at the very start, is starting out really well in Game 3.
It's how they're going to win. But right now, for Bevan, playing the Nidalee, if he can actually get to a good point in the mid-game, then it's huge. Despite how destructive your AD carry is, 1 spear gets him out of the fight.
Yeah, it really can.
2 spears kills him.
Unless you can get Fabivan down. And Take Fun is the guy to do that. He is LeBlanc against Nidalee. It's I think a good matchup for LeBlanc.
Yes, it is.
You've got some healing, but like you can really put some damage on. She can't fight back easily.
Only thing in the early game is she will heal herself with Primal Surge and just do some auto attacks at you. You'll try to trade. You'll use a little bit of mana to do so.
See what they can find. Kickus is actually starting to play a little bit more aggressively. Puts a ward down in front of the red buff, and he's actually going to spot Trashy there. They're actually going for the same camp here. Smite battle. Hut.
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 Out he goes. Hut. Trying again.
Nope.
Hut. You can't actually pull that Wraith into the brush, so the little ones you could if you really cared about killing those first, but I don't think Big Wraith could ever quite reach. Oh, okay, yeah, he aggroed back. And still gets it though, Trashy. Well done there. Kickus smited early.
Yep.
Didn't get anything for it.
Well, he loses Baron, doesn't lose Wraith. Don't smite early on that one.
True. Well done, Trashy. Well, he did smite early. He had to queue it.
Late. Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah.
Trashy smited early both times.
Yes.
Last 2 smites we've seen.
Ah. Well, they both smited it. What?
I don't know what Kickus smited it. He might have gotten a small Wraith. Or like a Spider Link.
Okay.
Someone smited the Wraith. That's all I know.
Okay.
But it went to a Q from Elise. That's all I got. That's all I got.
All right.
Odwamna, you can see them doing battle right now with Kuban. That was a heads-up 1v1. Kuban did show up to lane a little bit late after the lane was already pushed, so he was at a predisposed disadvantage, but it's still a matchup that goes well for Kale. Yes. So there is at least a backup plan for H2K. There's enough other threats in the team that if they don't get the Nidalee pad to work, they've still got a well-farming Kale. And Kickus.
Both junglers actually looking top right now, and 80 carries. There's a 10 CS disparity, but there's more combat stats on Hjarnan right now.
That's true.
Ooh, Trashy's going to back. It's going to be a 3-on-2 if it does get engaged, and the wave is pushing towards Loveland Shore.
Ooh, bind is going to hit. It might bait the fight. There comes the Lantern. There goes the engage. Oh, but the minions are in the way. No Q lands onto Hjarnan. Then the hook also gets black shielded and outranged by AOD, so nothing found.
That's going to force Kickus to back off. It's going to give Trashy information that he's on the top side of the map. They don't make any moves bottom just yet because that lane is just going in Odwamna's favor naturally.
But think about these lane matchups, though. H2K sought out the 2-on-2. Loveland Shore picked up the LeBlanc for themselves. I'm trying to remember if LeBlanc or Nidalee was picked first.
Nidalee was last picked.
Nidalee was last picked. Wait. So H2K opted into the Nidalee versus LeBlanc matchup. They opted into the 2v2. And both matches being won by Loveland Shore.
Yeah. They last picked Shyvana on Loveland Shore. So the Nidalee was locked in after the LeBlanc was shown by Take Fun.
Yeah, because it was Kale and then Lucian Elise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Morgana, yeah, Morgana and Nidalee were the last two picks. Yeah, I'm remembering that now.
It's all coming back to you.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me. Yeah, H2K last picked on both those matchups. Like the entire matchup, they got the picks they wanted, and they are doing poorly. The only one actually working well is this Odwamna, the first pick on Kale. That one is working nicely, so that's the only guy we can really trust.
Good black
here.
shield.
Yeah, absolutely, very well done. But 300 gold lead for Loveland Shore.
Yeah. Despite stomping the lane very, very early on, Hjarnan comes back with the longsword and pushes that advantage immediately instead of playing scared. He knows he has the combat stats up.
Yeah, it's very well done, and he trusts AOD to get the black shields, and they've done very well ever since that first one, so gotta say that's okay.
Ooh, they're going for the blue invade again by H2K. Might get collapsed on here, though.
Gonna be equal numbers here. Kickus wants to get the smite, goes in, gets it. Well done there, Kickus. They actually deny it still from the mid laner of LeBlanc. And there's Dragonform forcing a flash. Odwamna's gotta be careful. I don't know why Kale burned ulti on that one because there's no damage coming through. Trashy taking a whole bunch of pain. He's got nowhere to go, and the kill's gonna get picked up by Kuban there in that fight. Very well done, Loveland Shore.
They chase it down. They had it warded. They had the timer on it, and they knew that H2K wanted to come around into that area. Fibevin doesn't really have a lot of mana, and he can't really contest that at all because Take Fun is playing LeBlanc. All he has to do is just come into that fog of war, and you don't know whether he's going to the fight or if he's sitting there waiting for you to face check it.
And you don't want to face check that.
No.
It'll hurt a little bit. Q is targeted. You can't even juke it. You just take the damage if you show up. So he's going to back off. Odwamna still trying to hold up to this matchup. Still 10 CS up, but that's pretty much holding equal. Yeah. So Kuban's doing well for this one. Of course, now Loveland Shore starting up. Now that Smite is back for Kickus, we're going to go for this one. Trashy not even trying to look for that one. Without the summoners up, with the level disadvantage, LBS just goes for this.
And Trashy, it's his style to be extremely aggressive, but
oh my gosh, big damage. Summoner heal used as well through the Ignite, and Fibevin wants this battle, but did he want too much? The flash auto attack for Take Fun. Fibevin, greedy in the matchup. H2K getting outplayed 1 by 1.
Wow, and Odwamna on the wrong side of the map now.
The good kick though, the box comes down. There's nowhere for him to go. Another fight is found. Lee Sin working excellent in the one-on-one lanes. H2K over-aggressive time and again.
Yeah, they're just way too aggressive against Loveland Shore. It happened in the last game too. We saw Trashy kept going in on things, and that's just his style, is to not let up. But when you end up not letting up and it puts you in a deficit, and you keep having that playstyle just all across your maps, all across your lanes, it really, really hurts your composition, and then you end up behind trying to find your way back in. A Dragon goes over to Loveland Shore, 3 kills up, 2K gold now. And the fact that they stopped the counter jungle is huge. They basically equalized everything and then pushed themselves into a lead.
This is awesome. The individual plays, and now you can see why Kickus got his Lee Sin denied so many times.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking good of the champion. So I gotta say, I'm a fan of this Kickus Lee Sin. He is also looking awesome. The newest pickup to the Loveland Shore lineup, and he is making this game win for Loveland Shore.
Ooh, he's off on the side of the fog of war.
It's a potential 3-on-3 here if they want it. Pinkward's gonna get swept away. He shows now. Q onto Hjarnan, not going to follow that one up. Makes a lot of sense to not do that. Wards go back then to try rush. Kickass level 7, equal to Trashy. That's a pink ward.
We found it.
Take fun. Oh, takes a nice dodge. Really, I thought he was going to hit that javelin. Trashy will clear the ward away, but the pink ward will also drop. Slight gold lead for Lublin Shore for that one, but ward dies regardless. Trashy back into his own jungle right here. We still watch his bot lane matchup there. They continue to tread water though, so nothing too major happening. It's just Odwamna trying to push, and then Kuban last hitting under turret. Neither top laner has teleport. Muckler tries to make a play one more time. There. Looks for here and then does dodge away on the binding. There's the lantern coming across. The hook attempted. There's no one even pick up. He just wanted to scare him.
Yeah, threw the lantern backwards just for the intimidation factor. And down bottom though, it's actually pretty even in gold because of the kill to Kuban, and also the fact actually he's ahead because he got Dragon.
Yeah.
So he's actually doing really well in that Kale matchup. Only 15 CS down, despite Kale being such a lane bully against Shyvana.
Working so excellently right now for these guys. You're seeing life be good for Lublin Shore. See what I can keep doing with this one, because you still have to worry about the fact that Kale is pretty scary. They jump in into Odwamna. Good damage is available. Kickass already jumped over to a ward, so no safeguard left available still. No flash though for the Kale. Q's going to land. There's the intervention though, keeping him safe. And Trashy shows up to the fight, lands a stun. Odwamna though, still losing health, and the kill will be picked up by Kuba, but now Kickass has to make his way out with 300 health. Trashy putting some good damage down. He's a Q away from the kill, and here comes Italy now as well. This is not good for Kuban. He is chasing Trashy, but the heal comes in. He's trying to outplay the cat. I don't know if he can quite do it. Puts some more damage down. He is trying, but there's still no LeBlanc, but Fabivin is losing health. Kuban is putting some good pressure down, but he can't quite find enough. Fabivin makes it a 2-for-1 overall. Well played H2K to turn that fight.
Yeah, and they end up getting minimal losses in the mid lane because Take Fun, he didn't roam down. He didn't come down. He decided to go for the turret damage, and he barely gets any.
Yeah, definitely not the right move there for Take Fun, leaving his team out to dry. Fabivin, yeah, he lost a bunch of turret health. He lost a bunch of farm, but you know what? He saved a kill and turned one around instead. His turret's going to lose a lot of health. Take Fun,
yeah,
he actually will. Okay, you know what?
All right.
It is a turret for a kill trade.
It's a good trade there. Fabivin took the long way around, went through the jungle, and then he ended up losing it just because he was playing a little bit safer.
Okay. Well, Lublin Shore continue to have a 2,000 gold lead then. And that's going to work out pretty nicely. Take Fun level 10 to the level 10 of the Nidalee of Fabivin.
This also frees up LeBlanc to roam around a lot more. So we're going to have to see how that ends up for them. Right now, Lublin Shore trying to get Dragon Control. It'll be up pretty shortly right now. Man, Kuban just getting another kill for himself in that bottom lane is definitely in a great position against Kale. I like his build. I like the fact that he has Vamp Scepter to go ahead and sustain himself. He also has the Spectre's Cowl to help sustain himself after he takes some damage. And then he has the Giant's Belt, just for the HP added on top of the magic resistance instead of completing an item.
Yeah, he doesn't need Banshees. He just wants the sort of the base MR, then get that armor because you're still going to fight a Lucian in team fights. So I very much like the build for Kuban. I think it makes a whole bunch of sense. He's going to be this great tank for the team. His base damages are good. We watch back at the top lane. Actually, finally, Hjarnan and AOD have put themselves back in the lead here. You're seeing a 9 CS.
He gets a Kun on Mockler.
Oh man, he's on the wrong
but
side.
The thing is, AOD needs to line up a Dark Binding.
No, he throws it back. So much burst. He does actually pop the stealth. He flashes away. Mockler does stay alive, and here comes the teleport. Actually, looks like Lublin Shore might turn this fight around. Yeah, Odwamna shows, and Kuban definitely will not, but that means there's going to be a lot of
here comes the poke from the side.
Almost nowhere to go. A lot of pain comes through. Good root does still land, but Fabivin is about to catch Limbic. He could get the kill. He does get the damage down, but now Mockler's going to find a Nidalee in enemy territory. The Lee Sin Q lands as well, and Fabivin goes down. Top lane turret still falls regardless, but 1-for-1 and kills. Kuban still able to push the bottom lane down. He should be able to pressure this turret, to be honest, and H2K forced to defend 3v4.
We see
Lublin Shore.
Kickass off on the backside. He does have his kick still available. Meanwhile, we're going to see Kuban go ahead and push that bottom lane down. Get himself back up in CS. Has a level up now over Odwamna.
He's about one wave away from getting this turret down. I think it'll be enough, even though he doesn't have any real attack damage items. Kale's on the way down the map. He's going to be there in 20 seconds, but
Dragon.
This turret's low. And yeah, exactly. Dragon's up as well. You're seeing the recalls go for the dual lane of H2K. They know about this, but there's a timing window where Lublin Shore's there first.
Yeah, and they are going to be there first. They're definitely going to pick this one up, start it as fast as possible. And they're going to be rewarded with a turret and a dragon. It's going to be an even bigger gold lead than before.
Now look at that. H2K stood around too long in the siege, missed the timer on Dragon, and Lublin Shore made the better play. They are now up 3,000 gold. This number has grown by about 800 since those prior fights were happening. These guys are playing a smarter game right here. Honestly, it's more about objectives. They're losing in kills, or not losing in kills, but they've lost in kills in the recent past, where H2K have found these picks. It just doesn't matter.
And a big thing, too, is that for Bevan, he went for the guaranteed kill by flashing in onto Thresh instead of trusting that he could land a spear, and gave up himself for that, which is their main sieging tool.
Yeah.
He could have been able to keep a lot of the members there under pressure if he had just stayed alive and thrown spears at them.
Yeah, absolutely. H2K are playing greedy and overconfident. They're getting themselves into bad fights. They're making bad choices now where they think they're just going to win outright, and it's a very surprising situation for these guys, but you know, I was wondering what would happen if H2K stopped winning in the first 5 minutes, like they had in their first 3 victories of the season.
Oh, they're going to rely on poke.
They're going to try.
That's the answer.
That's their way back
that
in.
They've come up with.
All 5 are there. Kuban's flanking. Libix at half health. Kickus as well, but maybe this is the fight these guys can take. Javelin, though, now Lublin Shore can't fight anymore. Look at this. The turret's going to go down. H2K's poke comp does work in this case, and down goes mid-tier 1.
They're going to get that for themselves, equalizing the turrets. They're still down 2k gold. They're going to go for another, though. And continue to push it out. Lee Sin hasn't backed yet. There he goes. He's finally back. Mockler, he's going to see what he can do. Take Fun going after Hjarnan.
Some good damage there. Odwamna going to take a bunch of pain. There comes the jump in as well, but this is a 4v5. Kuban takes a lot of pain, takes a lantern out. The damage comes through. They pick up the Morgana. Now Libic goes in as well to try to keep the fight going. Odwamna does not get rooted, but in a 4-on-5, Lublin Shore gets a kill.
End up taking out AOD. Mockler showing up at the right place, but also Take Fun getting the great root. Just all around, that team fight was really well played by Lublin Shore from every individual aspect.
Yeah. I really need to commend Kuban, though. Just the flank dive. Watch him come in on this.
Comes in from the side. They use a lot on Hjarnan to keep him alive, and now he's attacking, but Libic just gets him back there. He ends up stunning Kuban, and it looked like the culling. He wanted to get it. He gets the flash out of Shyvana there from Odwamna. And man, the hook onto Bevan. He could have been chucking spears.
Yep.
Could have been chucking javelins the entire time. Gets hooked back and is forced to Cougar and get out.
So excellent stuff there. Take Fun. Just going to wave through the mid lane with that turret down. Maybe it'll unlock him to roam. It looks like he wants to go towards the top side, but walks through a ward while doing so. Kickus, though, does not get seen. This is a chance at a slim window for 3-on-2, but Elise is coming around.
Oh, they're all grouping up there, though.
Okay, 4-on-3.
They finally warded it. So now Kickus is seen. But now Take Fun is there, too.
They could force this turret down, theoretically. You can safeguard over. Okay, he's going to be safe. This turret will take some damage. A little bit gun shy. I think maybe still the smart choice, though. One bind means Mockler's dead. They don't quite get the turret down there. Don't want to force the issue too terribly hard, but no ultis, no summoners. I think Lublin Shore could have gone for the risky play there.
They decide not to. And that's kind of their style, too.
It is low risk.
It's just low risk, medium reward. H2K, complete opposite. High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
The high risk.
Or negative reward.
Exactly.
When it backfire, so I mean I
that's
guess
the
that's part
point
of the high risk.
High risk,
yeah. Sorry, you're right. You were correct. I don't know why I said anything else. I just wanted to say something, okay? I want to be part of the point. I wasn't. It was all you. You don't need me anymore. Well, you know though, we are back to a 1,400 gold difference though. H2K has halved the gold deficit.
They were playing a little safer
last time.
Is the thing. Trashy hasn't been going as aggressive. They gave up 3 back-to-back kills at the start that were just very careless. Now they're waiting for Bevan to poke people down because he has the most gold on the team aside from Odwamna, who's been off on the side the entire time. So if Bevan can get down 1 or 2 spears, we saw it last time, just force to kick us off an objective, boom, rewarded with the turret. Just keep doing things like that and keeping ward vision on your sides so they can't flank you. And
almost a death cap.
little bit ahead. He's gonna go for this.
Which he's staying. This is a bit of a risk. Here comes the teleport though to keep himself safe. Looks like Kuban will be able to push everyone back away. Does complete the teleport, so he's gonna be there with everyone else.
Yeah, Runan's completed 2 for Odwamna. Hurricane is down.
Trashy goes by a ward maybe to flank this top lane. I don't think he'll be able to do so. Looks like he's gonna back off of this. Ward sweeping, they really don't find one. He got spotted by a different ward. They didn't know where it was though. They realized they got seen, but that wasn't where the ward was.
Yeah. And now, teleport advantage for H2K. Dragon's not up for a while. It's going to take a good, decent amount before that's back up. And now, by the time that Teleport is back up for Kuban, though. Dragon will be up.
Ooh, that is a thing to... No, that's a 5-minute teleport. ETP to a minion.
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Oh, sorry. That's why I meant the opposite.
Oh. Yeah, that's how you save face. I meant the opposite of what I said.
No, I meant it's not going to be up with the caveat.
Got it. Oh, maybe I just misheard.
No. You probably heard correctly. I probably misspoke.
Okay. I'm right, yes.
It's not going to be up because he teleported to a minion.
Okay, well, 2,500 gold right now. The difference between these two, Loveland Shore and H2K, keep trading gold. And you're seeing this game slowing down, which I think makes a whole lot of sense when you're a poke comp. Dragon coming up. Think ward is down.
Here's the thing, though.
Whatsoever.
Kuban, they see him top lane, trying to force it, trying to bait them in. And now he's going to have to make the trek down.
This is a risk right here. Javelins come out. They don't see much. Viven.
Here comes
he's
FLICKR.
Reasonably safe. Hook does not land. And all 5 are here for H2K. And FLICKR forced to flash away. Does not take the lantern. Think ward is down, but it's going to give some time for Kuban to walk across the map. He's going to be there in time. Dragon has now respawned. But Robin does have teleport if he wants to cancel a split push somewhere else. Mid lane outer turrets are both gone, so to push that in would put you very far into enemy territory. Dragon being aggroed right now by Loveland Shore.
Mockler has played the Rune King complete. He's doing a lot of damage to this Dragon. For Bevan, trying to poke off on the side. Gets Libic. This is their ticket in.
And can they go for this one? They're going to look for the Javelin. It's going to be smited away and picked up there by Loveland Shore. They're going to run away from this one, though. Odwamna on the chase. Mockler stealths out. Looks like H2K will not find anything for this. Not enough Javelins landed. They could not go in. And it's more gold going Loveland Shore's way.
So they end up with a 3K gold lead, and now they poke down Libic. He has to back. Actually, no, he's off on the side. He's still sitting here. They want to siege this turret. They have the attack speed from Kayle. They'll be able to get it down very quickly. But here comes the flank from Kuban if he wants to come in.
Not in time. They don't have Twitch. Yeah. Maybe without Lee Sin, I understand. Without Twitch, I don't think is actually going to work. So H2K,
it's not going to work out.
They answered back. They got enough poke during Dragon. They got the inside track down the mid lane. Loveland Shore could not stop them. Well played, H2K.
Smockler's going for the power spiky Twitch, where you get the Umus and you get the Blade of the Rune King. Last time we saw that, didn't work out too well. Yeah, when we saw it yesterday. Gonna have to see how they play it this game up against something like Kayle and Morgana. And the fact that they have, like, I guess that's kind of what he has to go for against an Italy. You're gonna have to show up next to somebody and try to blow them up before disengage happens.
Yeah, I think it makes thematic sense.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, right? Even if the siege pattern fails, you've got you know, a Lucian who's going to have reasonable damage, and again, a Kayle still there who's going to put out a lot of persistent damage. If you go too hard for early game with Loveland Shore, you lose the ability to team fight. That's basically one of the ways Loveland Shore won in Game 2, and they're about to hand it over to H2K in Game 3 if this goes for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, both of these teams fighting to see who goes to the finals and goes to London. 3K difference between them. Game 2, they were neck and neck for a very long time until somebody ran away with it off of a Dragon into a Baron. And the last couple of smites actually have just been, even going back in history to Game 2, just been wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Smites early, smites on different things. Smite right there on Dragon actually got Mockler the kill on it.
Yeah, both these guys have had some really sick smites back and forth. There's been some really good steals over walls. There's been some just ham dives that pay off, and then some that do whiff. So right now, H2K want to control ward vision over the Baron. They're doing a decent job of that one. They're still keeping it on the split push the bottom side. Looks like Kuban did the same thing top lane. And you notice that both these teams are playing a lot more defensively now, right? It's down to Game 3. Everything's on the line. You've got to make the right choices here. And just the game has slowed because no one wants to make the wrong move.
Everybody's playing right now to not lose. But the thing is if you play to not lose versus a poke comp, that's how you lose.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
You have to be very decisive.
You got to try crazy stuff.
Kuban, he's got the right idea though. Since you don't have a real hard engage, just come in from a flank. Come in with the TP from the side, and then use your ultimate and your engagement tool.
A little bit of damage comes through there. Looks like ward still will be owned, and Loveland Shore has the southern jungle right now. They own this entire area, which means this bottom lane push that's coming in from Shyvana could pay off into a turret unless H2K can stop them. But LBS still trying to control this. Ward's being swept back and forth. Q comes out for Lee Sin, spotting Trashy and AOD. And another ward comes down. Loveland Shore, again, these are their brushes. You see the long route H2K takes around the left-hand side to get behind this turret. Their AD carry is going to be there a little bit slow, but they should be able to defend this thanks to Kayle.
Hjarnan hasn't been a part of a lot of the fights at all. Now we're going to have to see, can he do something right now? But Odwamne gets caught.
Oh, he gets hooked up, but there's the Black Shield, and the intervention is popped. That is box for intervention. Banshee's Veil now popped by Kuban. He actually did go to finish that item after Blade of the Ruined King, so good spear tanker there. Kickus now loses his Banshee's Veil.
Going for the magic resistance so that their backline doesn't get hit with spears. They can just soak it up for him. Granted, when Void Staff does come out from Febevin, but it's pretty far removed right now.
Ooh, wow, they're going hard. So much damage. He takes the Mikhails to keep himself alive. Febevin losing a lot of health. Kuban just goes for that one. Now the turret taking damage. Kuban forced to disengage, but there comes Trashy on the other side of that one, but it's going to be him getting taken down. Odwamne actually takes down Mockler on the bottom side. AOD kicked around, but Kickus got nowhere to go. Takes the lantern. He's still burns
so
down
much damage.
And gets picked up. Another one, though, goes to Take Fun. They are trading kills back and forth. A double kill for the Morgana. 2-3, though, and H2K wins the battle. But they're not even done. Take Fun still trying. Jarden in the... Brush, though, does not get spotted. A third kill for AOD, and they just barely win that fight.
The lifesteal was enough to keep him alive versus the auto attacks after the burst from Take Fun. That was ridiculously close all around. This fight, they engage, Mockler gets chunked down, and then it's kind of a half fight here. They push so much onto Trashy, they wait for him to come down. Then he flashes over the wall, and Take Fun's right there. He gets taken out. Right now, Odwamne re-engages and just does so much damage. He ends up getting Kickus here while he's taking the lantern. And boom. Jump in, get another kill. Jarden right here. Take Fun comes in, flash, distortion. Look at that. He can see him. He's just vamping so much.
One auto attack, yep.
He gets 31 per hit. The fact that LeBlanc at this point pretty much does about 80 damage with an auto attack.
Yeah. Yep.
Just inch
before armor, yeah.
Inch from death.
Real close. It worked out. So one thing as well is Mockler had Venomous Poison on a lot of people. And he did not respect turret aggro. He took like 4 turret shots that fight. He walked out of range and then walked back into range and the Venom just right again, pulls turret aggro back on him. That's why he actually died to Odwamne in that fight. Even though he got the Mikhails, he disengaged the first time. Turret basically made that kill happen. That would have been a very different fight.
Poking into the bush. That's smart. Smart mode.
Good javelin. There we go. Nice trap over the wall. Gonna keep him safe in this one. But Febevin gets caught out. The kick into the wall. Do they have the burst? Yes, they almost do. But Kale says no. And now Kickus is overextended. He's gonna go down, but they trade one back thanks to Twitch. Kuban forced run away.
Odwamne.
A lot from Odwamne, but he does not have ulti anymore. Is there any more damage left over? Livik gets cocooned into bind into death, and now Mockler also way too aggressive. 3-1 H2K.
Dragon is up right now. What does H2K want to do with this? If they get the Dragon, that's great. If they go for Baron, they still can. It's much riskier. Their smite is down, though, for Loveland Shore, and they have to do it quick.
H2K does not have ward coverage, but they do have a 4 versus 2.
Very decisive call.
Well, they got to make sure they're healthy enough to not die to Take Fun, because, again, the wards will let Loveland Shore know this is happening. Now, Kuban is low. Kickus is back alive and running as fast as he can without home guards. Take Fun is around over the wall. Down lower and lower on health. Trashy losing some more HP. Cake Fun could try to burst this out. He goes in for
he's going for Trashy!
Deals some damage, but the smite still comes through. He gets the kill back for that one. But it's a kill for Baron, still good for H2K.
That was so close. If he had killed Trashy, he may have been able to steal the Baron, or at least increase his chances of taking it. Gets him after the fact. Baron goes over to H2K. 4 members of that team now have that buff, and now the gold is going to be equalized by Loveland Shore, but the temporary combat stats are in H2K's favor. So they're actually going to contest this off the back of Odwamne.
Ooh, he stops the teleport, though, which means Loveland Shore knows they've got these small numbers lead there. He didn't want to go in by himself. Kuban is still low on health. They got to be a bit careful about that one. The attempted steal going to get body blocked. Nice job to tank the javelin, and Dragon goes down. Picked up there by Loveland Shore, keeping them 1,000 gold ahead. These guys are up in gold. If they can weather the Baron buff, they're still in good shape.
It's been a ridiculous back and forth, even in kills. 1 turret up for H2K. The Baron buff ticking on them. That's their way back into this game. They've been down for a large portion of it. They were 3 kills to 6 kills, but then they just get the trail off because Odwamne just does so much persistent damage in a fight, and the fact this intervention locks somebody in a stasis where they're just can't do any damage to them for 3 seconds. Febevin, when he got that intervention, he's naturally squishy. He soaked up so much damage, and they couldn't take him out.
Yep.
They end up getting him after Kickus dropped, and there was a 4-on-4, and with members that were left, H2K definitely had more power in a full-on engage, because Nidalee's more of a poke setup champion. And now Mockler, he's off on the side looking for an engage into this against H2K. But H2K, they're looking to just knock on the door. Actually, they're going for a pincer here. It looks like they want to have Mockler come in from the side and have Kuban come in from the other side.
Well, what can they do? Binding that's on Olympic. He takes a lot of damage. There's the Cocoon as well. Kickus tries to help, but it's not going to be enough. One kill picked up thanks to the poke of H2K, and in they go for the turret. That's going to drop rather quickly. H2K now in towards the inhibitor, the first one. That one's going to go down 31 minutes into the game, and they've got the gold lead back by only 700.
Yeah.
They're looking good.
We talked about it at Champion Select, where the Elise for Trashy isn't his typical style, but the fact that he's able to line up the Morgana, they're going to continue and go for more now.
This is a bit risky. Javelin, good juke there. It's going to be Take Fun staying safe, but Mockler's got to be even safer there. He can't jump over walls. He's stealth. He's going to walk out. Now H2K. The inhibitor's gone. They can get out of the mid lane and look for something else. Top and bottom lane both pushing in towards them. It's on their side of the river. They got to get those lanes under control.
They'll get more CS out of that and continue to push it up while this mid lane just does work naturally. Big thing that came up underneath that was the binding, cocoon, spear, just 100% guarantee that damage once you land one of those. And Odoamne just so much damage with his build currently. Like, Nashor's Tooth has an AP ratio on it, so your auto attacks do more damage based on how much AP you have. So Odoamne, he's doing massive amounts of damage that are consistent to multiple members in a team fight.
Yeah, he's being an awesome threat in these battles overall. 8 of the 11 kills are attributed to kills or assists in that guy. He's doing a good job at this one. You see 5-1-1 on Take Fun. I mean, that's what we expect there with LeBlanc. It's like, yeah, you can make the individual plays. You can get those pickoffs. You're unlikely to die. But how can you contribute to a full battle? Your deaths would increment, but if you're not getting the right types of kills before fights to make these plays, you can peter out, and that's a bit of what we're seeing here. You have to respect the LeBlanc, but H2K are grouping up enough to play that properly.
Yeah, we saw LeBlanc yesterday with Exile, who went 6-0-5.
Yep.
And they lost that game. With that being his final tally.
Yeah.
So you can lose very easily with LeBlanc while you're ahead in kills and assists. That's fine having a great score, but your contribution to a full-on team fight or the setup of a team fight is very minimal. You're a very burst-oriented champion. As soon as there's a little bit of resistances on the team, which comes out in that late game, you're not as useful. But the thing here is H2K, they're basically just using their levels. I mean, level 17 on Odoamne, he is huge right now compared to everybody else in the game. But they don't have any real designated magic resist tank just yet.
They don't really. They've got to be fairly concerned about this. We're going to see H2K group up there. Odoamne is going to have already recalled back, but it looks like Love Shore wants to engage this battle pretty early. H2K's got to be careful. They do not have all 5 members yet.
It's a good spear across and a good dodge from Take Fun.
As the attempt, another Javelin comes out. They're not getting a ton of damage out just yet, but 24th Lucian with a bunch of AD items is going to be able to take down turrets rather rapidly.
Here's the thing too, is they have that middle lane that now has a double stacked super minion wave pushing up.
I don't know if these guys can really defend tier 2. They're still trying, but if they don't go back right now, they're going to lose Nexus turret.
Thing too is if they stay long enough, Odoamne, he could probably teleport in and be like, yep.
All right, well, there's Kuban making the attempt. He's going to go and defend this, but that turret, it actually might be too late. It's taking a whole bunch of pain right now, and there's the engage for the turret. It's a 5 versus 4. Loveland Shore cannot faithfully defend this, and that will be the turret going down. And yes, Nexus turret number 1 did fall while that happened. A late move by Loveland Shore, and they can keep going. Still, it is 5 on 4. Still, this turret going to take some damage.
Just keep the minions there.
They can. They're doing some good damage. Kuban's finally going to loosen up and get to join his team, but there's low health bars on all sides. Binding, it's a spell shield there by the Banshees, but does he want this fight? Again, 5 on 4. The Baron buff is off the screen. It's off. Timed out the buff right there, but Loveland Shore, they can't find the battle.
Bevan, he's off on the side trying to poke Kickus, trying to find his way in, but the ward coverage. Oh, nice black shield to stop the engage there. The binding, actually.
He's safe, doesn't get Javelin, that's the important part.
Yeah, the follow-up
does go down. Wow, Loveland Shore afraid to
kick
go in the kick first for Vivian. There's the flash box, and there is the battle. AOD should be dying first. So far, 2-1. Loveland Shore start this battle outright. AOD gonna follow 2-2, now 3-2 as these kills come in, and H2K are routed. They've only got mid laner and AD carry left. Sorry, no, it's only 1 death actually for Loveland Shore. I miscounted that one, so 3-1 battle.
Oh, he's going
still
for it.
flooding in. Kickus got to be careful. Slow not gonna land there from Twitch. H2K still looking to play a little bit aggressive. Can they get the inhibitor? He's trying, despite being outnumbered.
He knows Nidalee has his back. If the poke comes in, it'll be enough. They're going to have to back off after that, though. Go for the blue and see what they can get.
Interesting. They don't choose to go for the bottom tier 2 turret. Instead, they actually do go for the blue buff steal. I'm intrigued by that choice because they might have gotten the push in time. Vivin will grab this blue buff.
Dragon's up.
The bot lane gets pushed in. And look at this. Still on a 2 versus 4. H2K, because of the positioning, because of the minion waves, they steal a blue buff. They take away... They could have tried for Dragon. They don't choose to.
There's a big thing here. Kick across 3. Odoamne gets obliterated because he used his ultimate onto Fibevin. He's gone. He was the persistent damage threat. I would argue that it would have been better to use it on himself there, because he would have been able to clean up this fight, whereas Fibevin's damage is just all poke, and he didn't land a single spear afterwards.
That's true, yeah. When you actually have been engaged upon. Yeah,
a little bit of a misplay.
Yeah, well, they couldn't find the correct 5v5. I mean, I liked AOD's play. He went in there, he got a multiple-man stun there, locked up Makler for a while, and then pulled a lot of attention, but the rest of that fight just did not go well. Kuban and Take Fun put the damage out, so props to them.
Clearing out the Baron now. The Dragon actually wasn't taken by anybody.
It's true.
Loveland Shore didn't go for it after the back there.
When Baron's up like that, yeah, you can't.
Yeah, you can't do that. Clearing it out. Oh. Top of the Banshee's Veil. Going after Odoamne. He's out of position.
Okay, there's the ulti popped. A big couple of heals coming, but he goes for the engage anyway. 2-man jump in. The Randy with overflow as well.
So much damage.
Odoamne has nowhere to go, and Makler picks up one. The top laner's dead, but he's got to be very afraid of Nidalee Javelins. Gets away from that one, but here comes the mid lane siege. Their inhibitors are back up, so this is a safe push to go for. No heals for Loveland Shore, but it's okay as long as they can make this push work. They can walk back towards Baron. It's a 5v4 with the top laner gone.
Yeah, they are all very tanky right now. Kikis, Kuban, both went tanky for the team. There's no designated tank on H2K aside from Trashy, who actually went for some Magic Pen with the Haunting guys. He's just now getting resistances, and it's so easy to just shred through Odoamne. Now it's 27 seconds on Kale, and the Baron's being started up by Loveland Shore.
A lot of damage coming through. It's down about 2/3 health right now. The pain's still coming across
Makler.
This is not good for him. He has to disengage this and play this fight perfectly without his ultimate, and AOD forces everyone away. That Javelin just won that fight.
That Lantern was really cool, too. Basically, run left, go right. And Odoamne, he actually has teleport, so he can go straight into this fight. If Kikis backs, and he can't back right now.
Yeah. Kikis must stay. Take Fun is around. He's going to look for a bit of damage. Gets Yarnan down to half
gets hit by
HP, but
spear.
it's a Javelin. That is not good for poor LeBlanc. Libic is around. There's the TP in. Here's the attempt. Odoamne rejoins the fight as well. They are still contesting for Baron. Nashgard is losing more and more health, down to 1/4 HP. The Javelin's still not landing. They're backing off, looking to push people around. Kikis is still around the wall. Puts the Q down. He smites it. The Baron picked up by Loveland Shore. Now can they run away? Kuban has Dragon form. He's going to get out. Extremely well played by Kikis.
Kikis just outsmited Trashy again. Comes up huge there. They're going after Makler. If they pick off Makler, they could still possibly get an inhibitor off of this.
Well, depending how they move, he still might be in the wrong spot, but a big wave bottom lane. H2K pings that and says, let's clear that up. Guys, let's slow the game down. Let's wait around a little bit and regroup and take this game right.
H2K, the last couple of fights has not been going in their favor. There was a good poke there by Bevan. Go ahead and clear people off of objectives. But, oh man, that steal by Kikis
absolutely
puts them right back in the game, right back on top of the game.
Wow.
Yeah, they see Bevan top.
They might have killed him.
They see Bevan top. So they know that this is going to be a 5-on-4 at best, sending somebody back to defend it just in case Bevan is pushing. No, they actually cancel it. They retcon that.
No, they're going to push faster than this.
Exactly.
If you don't defend a Baron buff 5v4 team with a LeBlanc who can pick people off, you're in a bad spot right there. So Loveland Shore, they're going to pick up the Dragon, take the safe advantage. They've still got 2.5 minutes of Baron buff. They've got time to make some moves and make the right choices. They will regroup bottom lane. I like this, actually. I don't think the siege defense is very strong from H2K now that Kuban is so big that he can dive. Now that Take Fun can one-shot people, sieging is a very good option for LBS.
Big thing here is that Hjarnan actually has a little bit more damage than Makler currently, because Makler went for a defensive item from the poke. He's just sitting on those 3 assassination items that he had previously. Whereas Hjarnan has a little bit more damage out. He's gonna try to use
they get some decent damage, but actually they don't get really much of anything. The Lantern and Makler's safe.
No, they got his heal. Yeah, that's about it. They have minion waves pushing top and middle. They're forcing the back now from Loveland Shore. this game a lot longer than the average game times for H2K, but they're playing a different style currently with the poke. Playing it safe.
They're playing it slow, but they're not.
That's another one of the situations too, where they're like, let's go for Baron when everybody's around. High risk situation that backfired on them again. They're getting punished for these high risk situations that they put themselves in, the calls that they make. Because Dragon was up that entire time. Could have gone for a Dragon. Decide not to. Say Baron, force the Baron, we poke them off. It'll be a 4-on-5 because Mockler had to back off. Bevan got chunked down. Kickus basically does all the work himself.
You have Guardian Angel now on Libic. The support's got a GA. Lemon Shore confirmed Gambit Gaming. GA's and everybody. Banshee's Veil on 3.
Captain Boots on Kuban.
I like that. He's at it for a couple of fights now.
Yeah.
Ever since they were defending that top lane push a little while ago. He can go in, the team can follow up easily, because again, you've got to let your team engage. I'm actually surprised that Libic hasn't switched over for Talisman of Ascension even, because just getting your team in there is all you need to break this down. To Viven, once you're on top of him, can't deal any more damage there. He's squishy, so Cougar form's out of the question.
They're trying to disengage you the entire time.
And yeah, and Javelins don't do any damage, you know, if you're within basic attack range. So you've got to be very cautious about getting far away when you're H2K. And right now, Love and Shore's done a great job of getting in, even without great engage tools. Like they're pretty good, but like you have no true. You don't have a Leona, you don't have an Orianna. You've got to just kind of force in there with your body and hope that you can stick through it, and it's working.
Kuban is actually really, really hard to take down right now. With the Warmogs on his back,
it's a great
fact, he's stacking multiple magic resist items. He's dealing more with the threat of Fibevan and just stacking up the magic resist, making sure that he can tank the spears, multiple spears for his team. He doesn't really care about Hjarnan, who's 3-0 and 5 in his defense. But it's really hard for him to get in on these fights and not get zoned out.
But Rand was level 18 before what Infinity has done. The actual persistent tank shredding damage of these 80 carry of Yarn is not high. This is pretty much the worst tank killing build you can go for 3 items as an 80 carry. So you don't have to respect it very much.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's an early game spike focused build. You don't even get a ton out of Infinity Edge because you only have 10 crit from Trinity Force. And that build is also starting to fall out. Neither 80 carry actually is that gigantic in fights. Yarn will get there first, but
man, 6K or 5.3K gold down now for H2K. They have the poke composition. They are behind, so they have ways back in. Loveland Shore hasn't run away with this. They've been waiting off the Baron buff, trying to get control of this map back over in their favor. But Loveland Shore, they've been doing a fantastic job of getting tanky and engaging the fights correctly. And stealing Barons.
Yeah, all the above. Everything's working really well for these guys. So 5,000 gold puts Loveland Shore ahead. Climactic Game 3 winner moves on to the Challenger Series Finals in London facing NIP. Loser faces Gamers 2 in the 3rd place match. Doesn't travel anywhere. And both these teams know what's at stake.
Mockler is in the wrong place right now. If they catch him...
Nope, he's good.
Oh.
He chose the correct brush to recall in. He'll be back in time. Mid-tier 2 might still fall if H2K rushes this. If they're smart, they will.
Sneaky coming out there. And now they're trying to flank them from the side.
Now they're being too safe. They missed an opportunity there. They knew that, like, hey, this Twitch, right? They were checking brushes. They're like, oh, man, he's on the wrong side. He's recalling somewhere unsafe. That gives you the opportunity to say, just kill the turret, 5v4. They won't engage you. It's 5v4. And they don't do it.
At this
rate, overcorrected.
Baron will be up fairly shortly. And that might be the next point. But going into the Baron fight, Loveland Shore is going to have an advantage over H2K. So that's what Loveland wants. H2K, not so much. The last couple Barons they've tried have all backfired.
Really, really true in this one. Loveland Shore still... I'm trying to think what they're waiting for exactly. They are setting up ward control. Looks like they are setting up around Baron.
Oh my lord. If they go for Baron, H2K might be able to just push straight up the mid.
They should just go, absolutely.
Yeah.
Get wards that watch the flanks, at least not an Evelyn, so green wards will do it for you, and just pressure mid at all times. If LBS missteps once and gives away a mid lane push, it's inhibitor in the Nexus.
Yeah,
They've got to defend this right now.
They're going straight for the inhibitor now. There's a ton of Banshee's Veils, so the poke isn't that potent. But here comes Kickus. And Kuban, Omni was trying far up right there.
One Banshee's Veil gone, and there we go. H2K forced back again. This is good defense by Loveland Shore, but it also actually gives, if H2K wanted, they could run in towards Baron and sweep boards away, just by pushing mid and turning back around.
At this point, even if one person dies, it is game-changing because you will be locked out for a very long time. We're hitting those minute-long death timers.
Yeah, you're at like 70 now.
Yeah. Baron's up.
LBS, I don't think they can.
They're gonna go straight down the middle here.
This is a gigantic risk by LBS. They're gonna try, but this mid lane push is happening quickly. H2K realizes that no one is defending. They've got enough wards to see that. Yeah, LBS backs off of Baron. They realize it was a bad call, but that's gonna give away the mid lane inhibitor.
And now their exit is actually sealed off. They're going to have to get out of here immediately.
Lidic wants to make the play, gets the play in. Can he find anything else? Hook's going to land in a trashy. The box comes down, only finds AOD. AOD does get away with the jump away. He needs a heal, though. He's going to burn down and die. That is a kill that was completely avoidable with the spells that were still up. And here comes the engage. Kuban wants it. Can he get enough? He jumps in. The random's open pop, but he's losing a lot of health. He is trying. There's the ulti popped onto Yernan, trying to keep himself in a decent spot. And now the GAs are getting popped. Kills traded back and forth right now, but it's going better for LBS. They're destroying H2K's lineup. Only Hjarnan and FLICKR are alive.
He's in the bush. He's going to see it with the ambush.
Mockler, oh, triple kill for Mockler, and now only FLICKR is alive.
And they're going to back off of this for LBS. They're going to clear these waves instead of take advantage of the 60-second death timer.
They still can, but they have to get their base in order. There's a super minion wave pushing down mid lane. They've got to sweep away. They've got 40 seconds to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They can clear bot, clear mid, then take Baron.
Big thing here, AOD tries to zone, and watch this. Flashes, the heal is burned late by FLICKR.
Oh.
Doesn't end up saving his teammate there. They engage in, and just huge burst coming down here. The kickback of Hjarnan into the team, he forces the intervention on him, and Odwamne just stands there and swings away as much as he possibly can, and he gets taken out.
Look how big the Mikhail's heal is on Kuban. He's got so much health. It's 150 plus 10% max health, something like that. So when it's on a tank, it's actually very substantial. It's more than a summoner heal, more than an Italy heal would do. And so he gets to just like be that tanky dude in the front line. The respawn's just now coming in for Odwamne and Hjarnan, and LBS times that just well enough. They know it's a 5-on-3, or yeah, they have teleport. They know it's a 5-on-3. Gonna grab this one very successfully. Baron Nashor goes over one more time to LBS, and now they're up 10,000 gold. They've got to nurse this mid lane inhibitor back to health, but this much gold with a Baron buff, Siege will look good.
10k gold up over the tournament favorites of H2K, formerly Cloud9 Eclipse, that made it all the way to the promotion tournament last time. LBS, Take Fun, Hjarnan, AOD, not as lucky last time. They didn't make it all the way to the promotion tournament. This series, they're looking really good. Can they upset H2K? They're taking all of these objectives. Their play style so far has been very safe. Then when they win the games, they win them in a longer fashion than when H2K does. But what can they do? They've been forcing Odwamne to use his intervention on people other than himself. And when he is using it on himself, he can't stand there and swing away, which is what he wants to do. The kickback of Hjarnan was crucial at that point. It's a very tense game right now.
Extremely tense, but this is the time, I think, for LBS to make their plays more aggressive. Infinity Edge has been completed now for Mockler, so he's back online. You could theoretically sell Youmu's for a Phantom Dancer by end game once you get the money again, and I think that's a damage increase when you do it, but no rush really. He's got enough now that Eye Edge is there. He's decent. Only 40 crit chance, though. It is actually much lower than you could normally get in an end game build, but Hjarnan's in the same boat with the fact that he's got Triforce, only 10% of that item. Something to consider if you do need to burn down some tanks. Some burst comes out, but not too much gained there.
They got the GAs down. You're going to see Kuban taking a beating.
That's a decent amount of damage, though.
Half his HP.
In only a few seconds. Gone. And he is as pretty much full tank as you can go. I don't think he'll ever get rid of the Blade of the Rune King. I think it's too valuable for his ability to stick to someone like FLICKR. But he's otherwise got the itemization goal for himself. I don't even think you'd lose Captain Boots here. I think it's too valuable for the team as well.
You'd also lose the tenacity. Like he could maybe go for Zephyr, but no.
No, that's definitely not.
You want the
I'd rather have Merc Treads, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, FLICKR's caught.
Oh my gosh, Mockler going for the individual play. FLICKR losing a lot of HP. He's still trying to leap away. The contaminate. Some damage. Ooh, not going to go for that one, knowing that Kale was around. So LBS, though, they do buy some time. They could go for this. They can back for this. Yeah, FLICKR has to heal himself up. Big burst comes in towards Odwamne. Just imagine if DFG were up. That'd be a dead champion right there. Kuban does not care too much about the damage. Kickus goes in. He looks for a bit of this fight. I don't know if he really wants that one necessarily. That turret does not actually end up taking any damage.
Oh my god. There was 2 points right there where H2K could have just dropped the game.
Yep.
Odoamne taking huge burst, no DFG used by Take Fun, wasn't available, and then Fibevin getting caught. Heal wasn't up, it's up now. Just such a close situation, and they're flanking. They're all around the side here, but H2K, they see it.
Well, H2K is looking for one last minion wave to push in this cannon wave, but they have to be so afraid of Levelin Shore, the siege. They just don't have the ability to stay in there.
It's so hard to siege against this Baroned up team as well. Like this Baron team
1 minute to go.
wants to get in there. Kuban is just so huge right now. 5,000 HP. Trashy. Ooh.
I just realized how weird it is to have Frostfang on Thresh. Like, it's really unexpected.
Yeah. You'd want the auto attack as he hasn't upgraded it completely. No Talisman Ascension. His GA is now back up. Got blown previously.
Okay, well.
And there's no Frostfang on AOD anymore.
It's true. Yeah. Sold that out to get the pieces of a Guardian Angel himself. Makes sense. Of course, Locket is done for only one of these teams. Not the case here for Levelin Shore. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that because there's a lot of magic damage available to the H2K lineup.
Everybody's approaching those 6-item builds where the gold won't matter anymore.
Yep. Kuban's done. Kikis is done. Take Fun's done. Makler's done. And Libic's got 1 slot left. Levelin Shore has nowhere else to go with their gold without trading in boots or something else. They've actually all upgraded their trinkets. That's when you know their builds are done pretty much in this one. Same for Odoamne. Not the same right now for Tragic. He's got room to grow. Not the same for Fibivin. He's got room to grow. Yarnan also has room to go. AOD has room to go. So the longer this takes, the better the better H2K gets. Every single member has somewhere to go with their item build, except for Odoamne.
Now, Levelin Shore can crack the base, get a kill, they could end the game. Vice versa, though. H2K have a much easier way into the base with all those inhibitors down and just 1 Nexus turret. If they get a member or 2, Levelin Shore down, could be game. If death means the other team gets a ticket to London.
You gotta be pretty afraid of that one. You don't want to give that away, of course.
Don't want to punch their ticket for them.
Nope. No matter how good Lee Sin is at martial arts, punching tickets for your opponents. Punch your own tickets. Team kill your tickets.
Huge waves here, but Odoamne will go ahead and clear that one out himself. Top lane is pushing against Loveland.
Big damage though. That is the non-skill shot combo there. He's got to be pretty careful. Life Stealing back up though. The turret's going to be taking a lot of pain. The Monk's got to be careful. There's the engagement. AOD, Black Shield is on. This could be a very good fight. They stun up only Libic. And here comes the battle. Kuban takes a bunch of pain. That is 1 kill picked up. And here comes the chase. Makler takes a javelin. The flash in for Odoamne. Kikis trades 1 back. The support's down, but there goes the AD carry. It's a 2-for-1 fight. H2K win that. Now Kikis has got to be careful. He calls his friends over.
He's getting the crits.
Oh, he can't get the lantern in time. That is 3 kills for 1. Odoamne looks for Libic. He gets some damage down. And here comes Trashy. They're going to get Take Fun. They're going to get Libic as well. GA is popped, and this is the chance to push for H2K.
H2K, they aced them 5-for-1. The whole point of that entire siege, they went for the turret. AOD, he jumps in, uses his ultimate, locks up 3 people, forces them back, and he splits them up. He gives up his life, but at the same time, Odoamne is able to do what he does best, just sit there and do damage. This is going to be game for H2K at 55 minutes in.
What an incredible game for H2K, but they have done it a 55-minute game. The sieging, the javelins, the individual plays, and that is the game, the celebratory calling, and H2K are now into the finals. We'll see them next week.
They just won with a 7K gold deficit. Half an item down on most of their carries. Odoamne, AOD coming up huge at the end of that fight. Fibevin in the end, they wanted to use the poke comp, but it basically just became, we're going to counter-engage you when you're taking our turret.
And that's what I liked so much about H2K's composition, is they could start out with the 2-man siege, the Trinity Force Lucian, the Nidalee, get some turrets down, and they did find some of those. They got some turret sieges, but that back pocket Kayle was always something to keep in mind when you got really late in the game. An actual team fight, as long as LeBlanc doesn't one-shot somebody, an actual team fight of 5-on-5 will go to H2K because of Odwamna on Kayle, because their actual team contribution will be more than what you're going to get from Loveland Shore. They finally found the fight they wanted. LeBlanc Spurs didn't get a kill. The AD carry life stole back up, and then they got the fight. AOD flashing in, as you mentioned, exactly the right play.
Huge!
Burns all his actives, Black shields himself, lockets himself, puts the Randuin slowed down, forces everyone to run away the entire time, and it just opens up the way to take down 6-item Twitch. And when that happens, you're done.
Yeah, AOD's got to stand for Area of Death right now because everybody was just running away from him, and the rest of his team just collapsed and created the plays. They end the games down in kills, too.
Yep.
54 minutes and 47 seconds. That's going to boost up their average game time for sure. But
Sure.
H2K, they do it in style because they ended up winning while behind. They cracked the base very early on. That they just couldn't do anything off the Baron steal that Trashy let happen. That's the second Baron back-to-back games that he gave up when he was in range and had his smite up.
Yeah.
For first game, he was the reason they won. Second game, I'd say he's the reason that it was really hard for them and they ended up losing. And game 3, definitely because of the Baron and the misplays around that area.
Yeah.
Just H2K, moving on into the future, they were tournament favorites right now after what Loveland Shore has shown today and also what Gamers 2 showed yesterday against NIP. Both semifinals were 3 games long.
Yeah.
Coming into this final against NIP, H2K, this matchup is anybody's.
It really is. And in fact, that it's really for any 4 of the teams. I think it was really easy to point to favorites in this semis and say, oh, yeah, it's NIP. We know these guys. Even with roster changes, you still expect...
Everybody's still very powerful.
Right, exactly. You still expect that to go well. And again, the defending challenger champions, Cloud9 Eclipse, now H2K, again, you expect them to be favorites. But yes, such a hard-fought bracket. A lot of great teams. It'll be fun to see them all try to compete again in Summer 2, as well as the finals and third-place match. It'll be a bunch of fun to watch Challenger. So, after that hard-fought matchup, here's how the Challenger bracket looks heading into the finals. Loveland Shore did lose today, but they still have a chance to secure 3rd place next Friday, June 20th, meaning more points and an automatic entry into Summer Series 2. That match will actually take place before the NALCS begins on Friday.
And on Saturday, June 21st, H2K Gaming will face Ninjas in Pajamas in London in front of a live studio audience for the top spot in Summer Series 1. That match will also take place before the EU LCS on Saturday.
But you won't have to wait long to get your LCS fixed. The North American LCS begins week 4 tomorrow. That all starts at 9 p.m. Central European Summertime, 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and that's going to be Solo Mid going up against Cloud9, then Evil Geniuses facing off against LNQ.
And after that, Dignitas and Curse go head-to-head, and Counterlogic Gaming takes on Complexity. Then the NA Challenger Series semifinals get started when Team LawPro battles Frank Fang Gaming in a best-of-3 series.
And with that, we've reached the end of our time together tonight, but before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola, and now for myself, Cyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew. Thanks for watching, good night, and GG. The other side of that one, but it's going to be him getting taken down. Odwamna actually takes down Mockley on the bottom side. AOD kicks around, but Kika's got nowhere to go. Takes the lantern, he's still
Odwamna does so much damage,
and
gotta
gets
kill him.
picked up. Another one, though, goes to Take Fun. They are trading kills back and forth. Is there any more damage left over? Livic gets cocooned into bind into death, and now Mockler, also way too aggressive, does go down. Wow, Loveland Shore afraid to go in the kick first for Vivian. There's the flash box, and there is the battle. AOD should be dying first. So far, 2-1. Loveland Shore start this battle outright. AOD gonna follow. They're backing off, looking to push people around. Kikis is still around the wall. Puts the Q down. He smites it. The Baron picked up by Loveland Shore. Can he get enough? He jumps in. The Random's open pop. He's losing a lot of health. He is trying. There's the ulti pop onto Yaren, trying to keep himself in a decent spot. And now the GAs are getting popped. Kills traded back and forth right now. Now Kikis has got to be careful. He calls his friends over.
He's getting
he can't get the lantern in time. That is 3 kills for 1. Odwamna looks for Livic. He gets some damage down. And here comes Trashy. They're going to get Take Fun. They're going to get Livic as well. GA is popped.